Part 5 or Part 6? I don't know. I really should have figured that out before I started this. Oh my god,
I have the best friends.
Ash is like crying over here and snorting into her tears. Hello, Julu bud.
Oh gosh, I'm okay. Oh my.
Hello, all new people who just showed up.
Sorry that the first thing you got to hear was me, like,
snorting into your tears.
Losing my shit profoundly over a text message someone sent me. Well, it wasn't, you know.
It was a sound message. I thought I heard that. I thought that was what I was hearing.
I need to share the Vine with the chat.
Okay, so you guys will know why she's crying. Ash. Ash, control yourself.
I'm trying.
Oh, get your act together.
Oh my. There it is. And yeah. Let me share it with the class.
Oh, Julu Bud is here for the first time seeing the actual stream. Cool.
Oh. Welcome, Julu Bud. Sorry, that was a bit belated.
Also, Quinn just asked a question about Olga, if you want to answer that in a second.
Quinn asked query. Since health was brought up, I was very curious about Olga's heart health. We know from past missing moments / main story that she has stressed the hell out of her heart because of past Hulk outs. In the live write, though, with Aziz, she is constantly hearing how bad... What? I think maybe some of your question got cut off, darling. You mean Aziz hearing how bad Olga's heart sounds? I'm waiting for the rest of the question. It got cut off.
Did you share it with the chat?
Yes. Quinn's wondering, how is Olga even still alive? Since Ozzy can hear that it's so bad. Is it part of the problem from the witch trap that she was poisoned with, or is it all from hulking out? It's from hulking out. Like, Olga's also in that live write under a metric ton of stress and has all these anxieties about her legs and just a lot of things. But how is Olga still alive? She's a really tough cookie.
Long story short.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, Quinn. That was a really good one.
Mm-hmm. Don't start that again. Oh, Blaze said they might write about Olga. I would love to see that, Blaze.
Oh, I would love to see that too. Scruffy said, I need more of Olga's hair in my life. She's so handsome in the missing moments.
Mm-hmm. She
She would love to hear you say that. She would just preen all over the place. Excuse me.
Stop it. I see you staring at me.
The person who just made me crack up is in the chat. Hi, Hoist. It's all your fault.
Wow, you've got Ash doing her wheezy old lady laugh.
No, but the first time I listened to that yesterday, I had my headphones unplugged and my speakers at full blast because no one else was in the office.
That's right.
It went, birthday sex. I'm like, oh. Oh, no.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh la la.
Oh
la 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 la.
What was that lady's name? The one that you used to stay with when you went to
Madame Claudie.
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 Do you imagine that Maman sounds like her?
Yeah.
Do your impression of Madame Claudie.
The only thing that I can really imitate her doing is the oh la 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 la. And there was a hand gesture that accompanied it. It was like oh la 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 like this, which you can't see in the chat. Sorry. Oh, Laura asked if there's any Italian cuisine that I really miss / really fucking love. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Americanized Italian food that I can eat here, but when it comes to things that were kind of staples of my childhood that are impossible to find here, I miss my favorite gelato flavor, which is gelato al melone, and that's cantaloupe melon flavor. And I also miss how a lot of gelato in Italy is not super creamy. They have more what I guess would be called sorbet here, but it's not sorbet. Like usually when you get sorbet in the US too, it's one of like two flavors. It's like berry or some kind of citrus fruit, but they don't have melons, they don't have pear, they don't have apple ice cream. That one's pretty rare even in Italy. But I've had pear ice cream. I miss licorice ice cream. I missed something called supli, which was rice cooked, like, it was a fried rice ball that had cheese inside, and it had a really nice texture. And I miss pizza made the way it was in Rome when I grew up. I miss eating at a pizzeria with cobblestones all around, or by Lago di Garda so you can be attacked by swans while you're eating your pizza. I miss taking long walks to go get gelato with my family, and when we get there, I would get an ice cream cone, and my mom would help me because it was dripping, which it really wasn't. That was just her way of stealing some of my ice cream. Being like, oh, Ellen, that's dripping. Here, let me get that for you. And then she would, like, lick half of it off and hand it back to me. Kalandra said, can you please say ooh la la the way Oscar says it when discovering Jackson and Olga? I can only hear it in my head, the traditionally stereotypical sound seen in movies. She probably would say, ooh la la, oh, ooh la la, oh la la, oh la la, oh la la. Yeah, actually, I have never heard a French person say it the way I hear Americans say, ooh la la. Like, I have never, ever in my life heard a French-speaking person say that. And that's not to say they don't, but I have never heard that. It's a totally different tone every time I've heard a French person say it. It's more like a, oh my, or oh dear, like, oh la la, oh la 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 la. They add more la's, like, the more atrocious it is, oh la 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 la.
I think Oscar's reaction would have, she was not expecting it at all, okay? Just threw open that door and, oh la la.
Oh la la.
Run away!
Merde.
Yeah. It's like, oh no. Little Wolfling said, French people usually don't say it like that because oh la la is the oh my or oh dear instead of a porn intro music.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. I thought I would demonstrate. Oh la la.
Well, when I think of the way I've heard ooh la la the most in American terms, it wasn't in any kind of sexy situation, but it was Nanette Manoir in Angela Anaconda.
Oh.
Because her dog was named ooh la la, ooh la la. And, like, her whole character was that she was a parody of a white American who didn't actually speak a lick of French, trying to sound really French. But she was always saying things like, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but she'd say something like, I can't think of it. There was a funny quote, but it just flew out of my head. But I liked her character because she was, if you actually spoke French, it was painful to watch in a funny way. It's suddenly so quiet. Oh, you know, I said I wasn't going to make this super detailed, but look what I'm doing right now. Making it super detailed.
Kiyokichi asked, with nuns and Energia versus witches and magic, is Energia basically magic but okay? Or can anyone learn how to harness their Energia? Energia is life force, is magic, they're all the same thing. Some people who are magic users either have an excess of Energia or use their life force to do, like, use what they have at great cost to perform various spells or actions, things like that. Going along with that, can anyone learn how to harness their Energia? There are certain spells that anyone could do, but again, if they don't have an excess of Energia / magic, if they don't have enough Energia to be counted as a witch / magic person, those spells are going to cost them dearly. We actually had, Elena and I talked about this a long time ago. I don't know if Elena would even remember it.
Try me.
Well, it's kind of spoilery. It's when if you've read any of the live rights, then you know that at some point Clementine and Oscar must have met each other, because Clementine is not fond of Oscar and vice versa. And we had a scene in mind where Clementine was going to try to help Oscar do some magic, presumably to either impress Catherine, or just because Clementine thought Oscar should be able to do it because it's easy, and it ends up hurting Oscar. But,
yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh, wow. It was a long time ago, though. Scruffy said, also, I just want to say thank you to Ash and Yamino, because when I was digging deeper and deeper to learn more about Olga, I found out she's only a few inches taller than I am in real life. Gives me hope I might look half as ripped and imposing as she does one day.
Oh, darling, she's my goal, too.
Go for it.
Every time we go to the gym, I'm like, Ash, I'm one step closer to being ripped like Olga. Every time I do the arm machines, I'm like, do it for Olga.
After she finishes on the arm machine, she comes up to me and she's like, look at these guns. She's just posing in front of me.
My guns are not that impressive yet, but I'm hoping. Hoping one day.
Sparangle asked, on a similar note, do people have magic / Energia types that they are inherently better at? Like Jackson with weather magic and Olga with hulking out? Yes, absolutely. There are people who have specialties. Like, for instance, you've seen, if you've been keeping up with the missing moments lately, Clementine is pretty good at manipulating plants, but she can't turn into a bird witch to save her life.
There's also some people that have kind of an innate magic that they do without even trying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of... It's not always out of their control, although in some cases it is, but usually it's something that just comes so naturally that they do it unthinkingly, like the twins with their telepathy. It's not something they consciously have to turn on. In fact, it's more something they consciously have to turn off.
Kichi said, I don't know how tall Yamino is, but I always picture tall and lanky. And then...
you picture right.
And then that one guy from Gotham said, she is tall and lanky, kind of. Met her in person once. Best day of my life.
Aww, when did you meet me? Was it must have been at a convention, I presume. I'm 5'10". We measured me just today, and I was just so bitter about it because I've always thought I was 5'11". And I swear I've measured myself as 5'11" before, but I was also wearing shoes, so maybe.
And I'm 5 feet tall.
No, you're 5'1".
No, 5 feet tall. Remember, take my shoes off too. Flat-footed, I'm 5 feet tall. I want to be tall. I want to not be a tiny hobbit.
Is that another mosquito?
No, I didn't get it.
But I mean,
oh,
is there one?
I don't
know. Or
know.
is it a gnat?
I don't know.
I'm less upset about gnats, but if there's a mosquito, cast it into the fire. Destroy it.
Oh, yeah. That one guy from Gotham met you at Anime Boston when you were with Chloe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a while ago. I really wish we could have gone this year.
Yeah. We had an opportunity, but it didn't line up. It was also the weekend we were moving into our new house.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked out. Next year.
Maybe next year. Be fun.
I love Anime Boston. That was a really, really fun and really excellent con. Whenever I talk about going to cons, I feel like I'm going to con people. I'm like, what a great con. I made off with tons of people's money.
Oh, K-Brand Art asked, out of curiosity, how tall is Oscar? I know you've mentioned her being taller than her mother. Yes, she is 6 foot something. 6'3"?
There's actually a height chart. I've posted it both on the site, in the blog, and also in DeviantArt.
Let me see. Sister Claire height chart. Yeah.
You found it. Ash just Googled it.
Oh, that's tiny. Really?
Yeah, that's the thumbnail, dear. You have to go, click on it again, and then click visit page. And it'll take you to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the main height chart. Here, click this one.
I just need Oscar. There we go.
No, that's not the right one. Just listen to me. You didn't have to go back that many times. Just click there. There you go. Yeah, there you go. And then hit download. What?
Oh, it's because of ad blocking software. Okay.
She's
Oscar's 6'2".
6'2", there you go. You should link it in the chat so people can see.
Okay.
I need to add to that height chart because now we have a lot more characters, like Momo is not on there.
Mm-hmm.
Magpie is not on there.
Someone else linked to it.
Oh, okay.
Isn't Oscar the tallest person in the cast without enhancements? I think she is.
Yeah, she's the tallest naturally.
Yeah.
Unnaturally, it's the Shard. Well, actually, the Shard is naturally tall, but...
It's Olga.
Olga, with her hulking out, is the tallest human character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oscar even beats out Abraham by an inch, and Abraham's really tall. But yeah, we definitely need to put Momo on there.
I'd also like to do something for Kid Gabby and Kid Catherine and Oscar, but what age?
Clementine, with or without horns.
Clementine is Claire's height, so
Yeah.
she'd be right under 5 feet?
She's
Or
4.
is she exactly 5?
No, she's 4'11".
Okay. Aw.
Claire and Clementine were both
Shorties.
4'11".
But, you know, Clementine had horns, so it kind of evened her out. Claire doesn't have anything like that. Evil cackling. Oh my god. Wow, I sure am tired of drawing all these lines on random house shapes. I hope I'm not boring you all to death here.
Oh, Kia Kichi, no. Kia Kichi said, I mean, Claire still has growing to do, if I recall correctly. She's like 14, right?
Oh, no, dear heart. She is not a pregnant 14-year-old.
Claire was 18 at the start of the comic and is now 19.
Well, actually, she hasn't had her birthday, has she? We've not shown her having a birthday.
Oh, Hoist asked, will I miss out on a whole lot if I go back and read all the missing moments in a straight shot, or should I make it all chronological-like? You should, I mean, and Hoist has read the comic all in one go. If you're caught up with the comic, yeah, go back and shotgun those missing moments.
Mm-hmm.
Do it up, Hoist. I'd be delighted.
I don't think you'll regret it. Ash's writing is really, really good.
Hoist is one of my writing idols. The thought of Hoist reading makes me kind of anxious, actually. It's like, yeah, go read them while I hide under this couch.
You have no reason to be ashamed or shy, Ash. Your writing is really, really good. I'm not biased at all. I think it speaks volumes that people who don't like to read have said, but I like to read Ash's writing. It's like the most interesting man in the world. I don't often read, but when I do, it's Ash's missing moments.
Kalandra asked, how old are the twins and Catherine? Can there just be an age chart? Yeah, you can ask us questions about their ages. At some point we should make a list. But the twins are, let's see.
The twins are 22.
The twins are 20?
In the comic right now.
They're 22. Catherine is, oh, heaven's sake, I gotta think. Okay, let me get my calculator out here.
Catherine looks younger than she is.
Yeah, Catherine is... Catherine's at least 44. Oscar's a year younger than Catherine, so probably right at 43. Jackson's in her late 30s. Olga's probably right at 41, 42. Oh, that's the nicest compliment. Benicula said, for some reason when I read Ash's writing, the first chapter of Watership Down comes to mind. The lyrical primroses were over things to come.
You don't know this probably, but that's like the best compliment Ash could ever get because Watership Down is her favorite book. And she actually has an online handle that's primroses over because that's like the opening line.
The primroses were over. Oh my god. I can quote the whole first page, but I shan't.
Everybody's like, Ash, you okay?
Insert dying whale noises here. I know lots of people think that the nuns are a lot younger than they are, but when you really think about it, it's not possible. I mean, they were around when Claire was a baby, and they were obviously not children. And Claire,
They aged really well.
yeah.
Especially Oscar. Damn.
Oscar takes really good care of herself, though.
She's got a skin regime that's like to die for.
Well, she also, like, they all exercise a lot and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They don't smoke.
Yeah. Spirangle, that's a great question. They said, do the bird witches select their name when they join the flock, like creating a new identity for their new life, leaving their past behind? Most of them, it became kind of a thing. Magpie's original name was, well, actually, I'll probably reveal that at some point, so maybe I won't say it here. But Magpie liked the name Magpie and kept it, and Henny's name just happened to be, sounds like a hen, so yay.
She also really likes chickens.
Yeah, her mom called her Henny because she was really fond of chickens. And that sort of stuck. Hawk's original name was Priya, but she didn't want to be called that anymore after she lived with Magpie and Henny for a while because it reminded her too much of her old life. And after that, it became kind of a tradition for them to adopt the names of the birds they would turn into.
It kind of reminds me of how at some camps that I went to, like Outdoor Ed in California, and also a Girl Scout camp that I went to at Camp Deer Lake, also in California, they would encourage us to take on nature names. Mm-hmm. And by encourage, I mean you had to. Yeah. And you wore like a little medallion, sometimes like that you drew on a little wood thing that had your nature name on it. Mine was Rock and Rob.
Like, Magpie does not force them to take these names at all. Like, Magpie couldn't give less of a shit, but I think Magpie's delighted when they do choose to stick with bird names. And they're kids. I mean, that's kind of cool, like adopting a secret name.
Mm-hmm. I think it also helps them to keep to stay undercover. Mm-hmm. Like, and if anybody was listening in on them, it would be harder for them to know who they were talking about because they're using these names.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know various birds from one another. So, let's see. There was another. Sheeple asked, on the topic of bird witches, do they choose their bird or is it a reflection of themselves? They usually choose their bird.
So it's kind of both, really.
Yeah. We've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. They all have a standard bird they can turn into, aside from their, like, specialty bird. So if they ever need to move in broad daylight as a uniform flock, they can all turn into geese. Magpie really hates turning into a goose. He thinks it lacks flair.
And there is actually one named Goose.
Yeah.
Who likes staying as a goose.
Yeah, Goose is sweet.
Which is completely un-goose-like.
Yes. Oh, sorry, that's Sarah. Did you use any kind of reference for this particular drawing of the city, Elena?
No, I just pulled it out my ass. Yep.
Calandra said, this is more of a world-building question that just popped into my head. But is there slavery in the world of Sister Claire, or do the nuns prevent that?
There is, actually.
There is. We'll get to that. Or do you want to talk about it some, Elena?
I think we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But consider this it's not necessarily human slavery. Mm-hmm. Although I'm sure that does exist somewhere, too.
Yeah, but
people can get away with a lot of things in such a dangerous world where, you know, cities are tiny and people form little covens and things. Like, there's less, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, repercussions for being a terrible person. Well, of course it depends where you are, but it's kind of like in a post-apocalyptic world, it's easy for people to start making their own rules and stuff because there's no, like, world police.
In a city like Thronamare, even though Thronamare was the biggest city outside Eden and the capital city, Thronamare was probably actually quite a bit larger than the capital city. But I very seriously, like, slavery did not exist as a common form of commerce and trade there. It may have happened in the shadows, but...
Also, what they may have had is more something along serfdom. Like, they definitely have a really high upper class and a really low class.
Yeah.
So while they're not literally slaves, they do a lot of the really hard work, while the people in the upper rings do much less work.
I think it also depends on who in the upper range you're talking about. There are some who are, like, extraordinarily skilled artisans and things like that who do quite a lot of work, but it might not just
But it's not like back-breaking manual labor. It's, like, specialized, yeah.
Kalandra said, kind of like Ba Sing Se. Yes, actually, Thronamare does have walls and rings quite a lot like Ba Sing Se. And Sheeple said, was the largest city? That's right, dear. Thronamare fell.
Well, it didn't literally fall. It still exists, but...
But I'm talking...
Yeah.
It's not the way it once was, suffice it to say. Not at all. Undine said, now I'm thinking, there is no shard in Thronamare.
Well, that is the draw for a lot of people to get there. They believe it's safe.
Believed, anyway.
This is looking pretty good, huh? Background.
Looks wonderful, baby. I am impressed. Can I have the power cord?
Yeah. One sec, I'll give it to you. Okay.
Benicula said, was touched on when Oscar realized where the twins might be going, I think? Yes.
It's never been canonically revealed exactly what happened to Thronamare, but we've laid several really heavy-handed hints that something terrible happened there. And Oscar is really upset that she thinks the twins are heading there because she never told them what happened.
They know that the city was abandoned.
Yeah, they know it was abandoned, but she never told them why. And they're under the impression that they can just go there and hide out because it's abandoned.
And, I mean, the twins aren't stupid. I think they... I think they are probably kind of aware that something must still be wrong with it, but I think that they don't really have any other options, and it is a kind of a way to cheer themselves up by thinking about it. Thinking, it's been such a long time, surely it's fine now. It's really far away, and maybe there's not that many people there, but it can't be that bad, right? Well. That one guy from Gotham asked, is it overrun by shards? Do you really want to know?
Let's spoil it all right here. Then you won't have to read the story.
Sarah said, I think you've mentioned this before, but what does the name Thronamare mean?
It means throne of the sea in Latin. Basically, I was trying to think of a name that would inspire the thought of a crown, like something royal and something to do with the ocean, because it's like an island in the middle of this quicksand.
Yeah.
And I thought throne of the sea sounded cool.
It is, in the Sister Claire world, it was literally the jewel of civilization.
It was the Sister Claire world's Babylon.
Yeah.
And Eden was, well, Eden.
Little Wolfling said, technically, Throne of the Sea is Thronus Matis in Latin. We know, darling, that Thronum Matis sounded more intense.
Yeah.
We can tweak things a little bit. It's a fantasy world after all. We got giant tentacle deer monsters. We're not too terribly worried about the correct Latin conjugation.
Latin is a dead language anyway.
Like Chronomate.
Oh!
Too soon. Gosh, you're terrible.
Everybody's like, I saw that, Sarah. It just...
Laura said, girls, how exactly is Thronum Mate surrounded by quicksand if they have a beach with sea, like seawater sea? The quicksand is a little bit further out.
Well, yeah, like, what happens is the water can come up all the way to the edge of these walls, and when the tide goes out, there's like normal sand here, but if the tide goes way out, there's just these expanses of black sand, and if you walk too far out into it, it's wet enough that it's quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
the tide comes in really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a real place called Mont Saint-Michel, and the tide there, I've seen it come in, and I forget what great American writer came and wrote about it. I think it might have been Hemingway, but some American writer described the tide coming in as being like galloping horses. It comes in so fast because the land is super flat. So as soon as the water rises, it's like...
That's actually why, like, a lot of people think that digging clams and stuff, like I've mentioned Oscar and Nib doing that, not only in Missing Moments, but in Live Rights. I've mentioned Catherine doing it and them trading clams for money. And like digging clams sounds like such an easy thing, but they have to be so careful to time it with the tide and to watch for the quicksand, especially because the times that they're normally doing it, the light is not very good.
And you could get stranded out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite easy to drown.
Yeah. Kiyokichi asked, do they ever get Gabby to do it for them? Dig clams, I mean. Canonically, Gabby helps Catherine find oysters, which are even more valuable than clams.
But the price is she eats half of them.
Gabby could certainly be... If they said, Gabby, we really need help, could you help us with this? She would do it, and she would sincerely not eat their catch, although she would really want to. But
I think she would expect some other reward afterward.
Yeah.
Like, now give me a wig. I want a pelt for my collection.
Keep in mind that Gabby is a few years younger than they are. She's, like, for quite a while, she's this unruly little kid that they gotta deal with. But she would certainly help them if she could. person who she would do it for without question and without fault would probably be Catherine, though. Gabby has always had Gabby loves Oscar too, but she's had always this huge soft spot for Catherine.
She's like, I saved this human pup. I am responsible for its well-being.
Well, Catherine also, like, really, really adored Gabby too. Still does, just is also kind of annoyed with her pretty constantly. Blaze said for her reward she'd probably ask for hugs from Catherine. Probably a few. I'm really looking forward to revealing it, but one of the things that Gabby really likes to do when she feels like she can sneak into the city or get help sneaking into the city, she really likes to go to Catherine's sewing shop and watch Catherine make so many differently colored belts. Mm-hmm. Laura said, what was that about keeping the background simple, Elena? Elena's what we call a glutton for punishment.
But look how good it looks to have lots of texture up here and then simpler shapes down here. See?
It looks lovely. I didn't say it didn't. It really looks wonderful.
Wait. What? Oh, I've seen that.
I just saw the picture with all the seaweed. I remember the very first time my friend Gianni and I ever went to the Pacific Ocean, and we both, like, flung ourselves in because I'd been to the Pacific Ocean before, but while I was in Asia. So never while I was on American soil. And I was visiting my friend in California. She had never been in the water because she can't swim, and I had never been in the Pacific Ocean while touching American soil, so we went running in up to, like, our knees, and this huge, huge wave just came out of nowhere and smacked the bejesus out of us, and we learned two things simultaneously: that the water was really freaking cold, and that it was also full of kelp. And it was scratchy and orange, and Gianni was terrified because she thought it was alive, and I guess technically it was, but, you know, it wasn't trying to hurt her or anything. But she fell over like 4 times trying to run out of the water, and then laughed at me when she saw how soaked I was. And also covered in kelp.
Oh, dear. Yeah, growing up in California, I knew what kelp was, but that doesn't make the water any warmer to jump into, I'll give you that.
Yeah, it was
That's what wetsuits are for.
It was pretty darn brisk.
I mean, when I was really little, I used to be able to run in there without a wetsuit. I could get used to it, but now, fuck that. I don't have the patience.
Julu Bud asked, do you two ever go to Canadian conventions? We haven't been to any yet. If any invite us and help us with travel expenses, we would surely go.
It's just so much money. That looks like a factory. What the?
Oh, that one guy from Gotham said, so Yamino and beaches don't mix. First elephant seals and then kelp. Hey, the kelp was my story. I'm Ash.
Yeah.
As far as I know, Elena's never been smacked by orange kelp.
Oh, I have. I'm just not as horrified by it. But you know what does horrify me? When I still lived in Austria, I went swimming one day in the Donau River, and that's the famous river from the song The Blue Donau. No, not that song. What is it? Now,
Yeah.
if I hadn't tried to think of it, is that it? Yeah, that is Blue Donau. Okay, I was right. I started second guessing myself. Yeah, but I swam in that river, the river of that song, and it started off really nice. Like, it was a beautiful sunny day. It was really hot, so the cool water felt nice. And as soon as I started to get about 1/4 of the way across the river, because my mom had challenged me to swim across, and I don't take down a challenge from my mom. And she was already on the other side, so I was like, all right. And then something slimy wrapped around my leg, like all the way around, like a tentacle. And I was like, and like, I couldn't keep, like, I still couldn't stop because then my mom would be like, Elena, why are you such a chicken? So I had to keep swimming, but then I realized that there was like, I couldn't see in the water. It was just brown enough that it was completely opaque, and there were just these giant tentacles of seaweed, and they actually send down boats to mow the seaweed in the river, but they had not sent it down recently, and so there were just giant tentacles of seaweed wrapping all around my legs as I was trying to swim, and so I just held my breath and in a panic swam probably faster than I ever have at any swim meet, and kept as close to the surface of the water as possible. And then when I got to the other side, I was so tired and upset, and my mom was like, that's great, now let's go back. And I was like, can we just drive home? Bring the car over here. I can't do that again. I can't. It's just so scary when you can't see and something in the water grabs your leg. And you know it's seaweed, but it's horrifying. Oh, Winkle.
Hi, Winkle. Hi. You're a sweet girl. Yes, you are.
Sweet kitty. Everybody's going, oh, what a cute sound. That's actually Ash.
Oh.
Ash, do your kitty noise. Yeah. Ash used to do that noise over Skype when I hadn't met her before, and I thought that was her cat. And I was like, oh, your cat sounds so cute. And then when I came here in person, I realized that's just Ash's noise, and Ash's cat sounds like... He sounds like he needs some oil or something.
Kia Kichi said, that's awesome. Can I have a pet, Ash? Sure, but I doubt you can afford to feed me.
Actually, you don't eat that much. I eat way more than you do.
Well, maybe, yeah. I require lots of maintenance, though.
You have to pet her head every time you get in the car.
Yes. And play the song that I call the Mumble song at least 3 times. Sorry, Ella.
It's alright, dear. I like it. I just don't want to get tired of it. We should show them the Mumble song. You should link to it, Ash.
What's it called?
It's called El Medi by Mika.
How do you spell it?
Like this. Here, I'll type it. El Medi by Mika. And right now people are puzzling over that until the video catches up to what I'm saying.
Oh. Kia Kichi asked, do the weenie dogs and cats fight a lot? There's only one weenie dog, that's Zeke, and the cats, they don't tend to fight with each other. Sometimes Zeke will give chase briefly and then realize that he's not actually interested in getting his face clawed. So, the cats play with each other constantly. Usually right after we've gone to bed, so we'll hear going down the stairs. Yeah. We'll hear
And always the one hissing is my cat Winkle, because she's really small, but she loves to pick fights that she cannot finish. And despite always losing and getting scared and upset and going, when inevitably she starts to get pummeled, she still loves to start fights. I don't understand.
She's such a dweeb.
She thinks she's hot shit. Should I start a new video? Yeah.
Yeah, you should. Okay.
I'm gonna...
Winkle's interested.
Well, actually, no, I'm not, because I'm almost done inking, and I think when I'm done inking, I'm gonna go bed, or at least end this stream.
Or do you want to work on the Steven Universe print some? Not really.
I think I need a little break from drawing for a little bit. but I'm not done yet. So.
Look at this puppy.
Oh, that looks like Zeke.
That looks like Zeke.
Hang on.
Kichi asked if we have a cat named Winkle. Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Winkle is not our child. Winkle is a cat.
We don't have children.
Yet. Elle me dit c'est ta vie, fais ce que tu veux, tant pis. Un jour je comprendrai, un jour je t'entendrai. Pourquoi tu gâches la vie? Pourquoi tu gâches la vie? Danse, 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 elle me dit danse. Oh, good night, Calandra.
Good night, darling. Thank you for coming.
Oh, I thought you were sighing at something else.
I was yawning. Are you going to do another live draw tomorrow to cover it?
I could, yeah. I should. I need to get this done.
As much as I'd hate to not be here for one, you could do one during the day. Give other people a chance to see.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I could do one at, like, maybe 1 p.m. EST. That's going to be one quiet live draw.
You could put on music if you wanted.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone else has a weenie dog. Look at it.
Oh, so cute.
Looks like with a little plastic bag tab on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
It feels weird not posting a missing moment tonight. I'm just kind of, hey, nothing.
Feels like a relief to me.
I know. Well, me too, because I didn't have to write it today. But. People in the chat are talking about writing and critiquing themselves, and that one guy from Gotham said the artist is the worst critic of themselves. That's right. Yeah. That's for sure.
I don't know. In some cases, I've seen the artist being their biggest cheerleader, which, you know, is not, I don't want to say that's a bad thing either.
But, like,
sometimes when nobody believes in you but you gotta be your own cheerleader. You know, I had editors who came to visit on Editor's Day at SCAD, and they told me that nobody would want to read Sister Claire. I was outright told that. But when he said that to me, it didn't hurt my feelings so much as, like, make me really angry and want to prove him wrong, and I like to think that I have. But just, if anybody tries to tell you something like that, just know that nobody really can tell you that nobody wants to read something you want to do, because there's always someone out there who will be interested in a story like yours. You might just need to find that audience.
Yeah, like I've said this at conventions before, I've said this on my blog, and I will say it here. There is always someone out there who is going to be interested in what you are doing. Always.
Yeah, like, stuff like that I'm not really angry about so much as just I feel really vindicated now, because thank you for proving those people wrong. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here. Thank you for reading our story, because I knew that they would be wrong, but you guys are the ones who helped me to prove that. So.
And sometimes, like, I will admit it, I get so many people sending questions to my blog or just really nice comments, and it's so nice, and I really, really appreciate it. But, you know, it's really even anxiety-inducing to write for a comic and have, like, I'm the one who really pushed to have something like the missing moments be present in Sister Claire in the first place. And as much, like, delight as people seem to have in them, and as many people read them and enjoy them and stuff like that, there's always that one asshole who will say something like, I think this plot point was too important to be pushed into the side stories. Or who will be like, I don't like text. I think this is shortcuts or something. And every single comment like that is like a little dagger being swatted ever so gently between my ribs. But what I'm trying to say is, even
that guy from Gotham is right. There has always been a serious undertone to Sister Claire. There just used to be kind of a little... There was a veneer of silliness that kind of masked the bitter, like, undertone of Sister Claire. But from the very beginning, like, look at the conversation that Marguerite has with Claire on, like, page 6 of the comic, where she's mocking her for being an orphan and saying, like, nobody ever wanted you and things like that. Like, it's never been a super happy comic. Or rather, a super sugar-coated comic. It's just... I think as Claire's worldview expanded, so did that of the comic. Like, it matured with Claire. With Claire herself.
But what I was getting at is that even, like, I am a professional webcomic writer. Like, I'm a professional writer. I've had things published. Yeah. But even I still get anxious about stuff, and I can't, like, people will tell you to just shake it off. And that's so freaking hard to do. Everyone has anxiety. So if you're having anxieties about your writing or your work in general, rest assured you're not the only one who feels that way. And even though I don't think it ever really goes away, there will be validation. There will be people who come to watch you write or draw. There will be people who tell you, wow, you're doing such a great job, or I liked this thing that you did. And this thing that you did set your work apart from something else that I read or saw someone draw. And yeah.
I think some of the best validation that I've gotten, well, there's validation in all forms, especially people coming to watch us chat about our characters and draw and write about them. But something else that means so much to me is when people give us money on Patreon. And these aren't people that are rich, but they are so thirsty for representation and they like how we're doing it so much that they're willing to pay us money to do it. And that really, to me, that says a lot.
It says a lot to me when the people we are writing this comic for come to us and give us money and say, please keep doing it, you're doing it right. That is just...
That's really encouraging. Now, everybody go donate $5. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But when I stop and think about that, it kind of blows my mind. This is the most exciting part of the drawing right here.
Little waves.
Yep.
And y'all, we're not trying to guilt you into supporting us
No,
on Patreon.
we're really not. I was just, when I think about that, it just really amazes me because, like I said, there were a lot of people in the very early stages of Sister Claire who were telling me nobody would ever want to read this and basically saying, like, you need to rethink what you're doing because it's not marketable and nobody cares and nobody wants to read it. They were wrong.
It's kind of like us saying, up yours.
Yeah. I want to be like, so Scott Kurtz, how's your Patreon doing? How's your comic about fart jokes going? I don't know. I don't want to... He's actually probably still a lot richer than I am with his fart joke comic, but whatevs. I feel like we have a very high quality following. I mean, look at all the lovely people in the chat right now. I don't want to get too salty about other creators. It's not good business, but I am really glad for the following that we have. Aw, thank you, Benicula.
Laura says, hey, speaking of girls, how did you find Hiveworks? Well, actually, Elena helped to found Hiveworks.
Yeah, I'm one of the original founders of Hiveworks. And by founders, I mean I was like the first artist on it, and then other people got added. At my suggestion, we added Chloe of Go Get a Roomie, and Issa and Megan of Namesake joined after that, and it sort of started to grow like a lovely amoeba, collecting other comics and amassing more mass.
Hiveworks has lots and lots of excellent comics in it.
Mm-hmm.
Go read them. Go read Namesake. Go read Daughter of the Lilies.
Daughter of the Lilies is one of my new favorite comics ever. I really, really like it. Like, the story is still pretty new, but it grabbed me from the beginning, and I like the art. I really like her panels and how she does character acting. And I like the protagonist, Thistle. I think she's really cool. I'm also really liking Wildlife so far, which is also a pretty new comic, so it's not super into the plot yet, but there's enough that I can tell it's going to be good. And it has an angry teenager who turns into a giant dog, and I want to ship him with Lupo. But unfortunately, I think Clifford is canonically straight, and I'm like, whatevs, that's what fan canon is for.
There's so many really, really cool comics in Hiveworks.
I can't believe I spent like 10 minutes on a damn cloud, and I still don't like it.
It looks like a Dr. Seuss cloud.
It does, whatever. It's whatever. As Sarah's fond of saying. Is Sarah still here?
I think so.
Sarah.
Oh, well, that's cool. Benicula said, I found Sister Clara by way of the Copic drawing Yamino sold on eBay of Usagi with the Game Boy.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
I never even thought of that as like an advertising method. Oh, hey, Sarah, you're still here. Good.
Oh, yeah. Curlicue clouds. I like that.
Yeah, like Hercules. I can go the distance, I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to find.
Oh, we sang the different
Sorry.
voices.
Where I belong. Sorry, were you going to show me something?
It's a thought. It's a thought for later.
Oh, Benicula, I will probably open commissions at some point. So if you have something specific you'd like me to draw, please let me know. Aw, she has a Sailor Gem shirt. Awesome.
Sarah asked if you do art trades, Elena.
I saw that. I don't really do art trades. I don't really have time to do art trades, but, you know, it's different when it's, like, in person with a friend who happens to be living with me for 2 months. But I don't openly say I do art trades because usually it's someone I don't know on DeviantArt, and I don't have time to do free art. And I know it's not really free if it's a trade, but I don't have time really to do art that I'm not getting money for because it's my job.
Laura asked, do you draw OCs for commissions, Yamino?
Yeah, especially if you already have a picture of them that I can use for a reference. If you're wanting me to design a character, that usually costs more because it takes more time, and there's going to be back and forth to get it right. So, but I will draw OCs, especially if you will let me have artistic license to kind of do it as I would design them, because I kind of enjoy that challenge. Okay. Well, I think I'm done inking this picture. So let me just check this without the sketch underneath.
Solar was asking if you have a price list.
I do have an old one somewhere, but it might need to be updated.
This looks really wonderful, Elena.
You like it?
Yeah. Catherine doesn't have any eyes.
Yeah, I know. She's pulling a sapphire right now.
Yeah. I love Mummel's hands and feet. her little bear claw nails.
Mm-hmm.
I had similar nails until I trimmed mine. I love it.
I'm glad.
That one guy from Gotham asked, will this be for sale at some point?
Yes, it will be available on HiveMill. Let me show you where you can get it. Oh, I gotta open a new window here. HiveMill.com, that's the HiveWorks store. You will not only be able to buy this print, but also prints of every other wallpaper that I've done, including like last month's with Clementine and the Bird Witches. Like, it's not that size. It'll look something like this, but bigger and prettier. And you can also buy some exclusive prints like this one of the twins, which actually I don't think I've advertised yet, so I need to do that. There's also some that were previously only for the Kickstarter backers.
That's so old.
Yeah, it is a bit old. You can see the difference in my art style, but also like this cute one of Catherine and little baby Claire making a snow cat and stuff like that. So yeah, if you go to HiveMill and if you search Sister Claire, you can also find the link to the Sister Claire store. If you go to sisterclaire.com and click store, and it'll take you to the Sister Claire collection on HiveWorks, or HiveMill.
Should you put the link in the chat?
Oh yeah, let me do that. Let me put the link there. That would be good. Yeah. That's right, Laura. The last wallpaper features huge ass mode.
That's right.
That's right. But yeah. So I'll probably do another live draw a lot earlier tomorrow, around maybe 1:30 or 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. EST. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time, to color this. But
if you come to campus, I can probably do some of it with you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe Sarah can come, but she's not on campus anymore. Too bad.
But if you come to campus, then I could do it, some of it with you.
Not too long though.
No.
Okay. Cool.
Unless we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, I think it's time for me to end the stream.
Let's see. Are there any last questions? Anything at all?
I'm not sure what time 1 p.m. GMT is. That's English time, right?
That's Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So for in England, 1 p.m. plus 6. Yeah, so it'll be about 7 p.m. About 19 hours for those who do military time in England. Oh no, Scruffy, you've been up till 5 a.m. Okay, well, I will see you hopefully then. Let me end this recording. Let's say goodnight for the people watching this on YouTube, Ash.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and check out the rest of our videos if you like this one, and check out sisterclaire.com if you liked what you listened to and saw tonight. There's a lot more there.
And have a great evening, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.